In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to create a subdomain in Hostinger and install WordPress. We're going to do this in two parts. First, we'll create the subdomain inside Hostinger, and then we'll install WordPress on that new subdomain so it has its own separate site and dashboard. This is really useful if you want to create something like a shop, blog, help center, staging area, or any other section that lives under your main domain but works like its own website. To get started, head over to Hostinger and sign into your account. Once you're inside the panel, click on Websites. This will show you the websites connected to your hosting account. From there, find the site where you want the subdomain to be added and click Dashboard. Inside that website dashboard, click on Domains. When you open that area, the Subdomain section will appear. This is where you can create a new subdomain for your existing site. Now type in the name you want to use for your subdomain. For this example, the name being used is shop, so the full address would become your chosen subdomain attached to your main domain. When naming a subdomain, try to keep it short, clear, and relevant to what that section of the site is for. After entering the name, click Create. At this point, the subdomain has been created successfully. That takes care of the first half. Next, we'll install WordPress on it. From the same Hostinger website dashboard, click on WordPress. In the WordPress area, you'll see a drop-down where you can select which domain or subdomain you want to manage. Open that drop-down and choose the subdomain you just created. Once it's selected, click Install to begin the WordPress setup. Now you'll be asked to enter the name of the site. In this example, the site name is Shop. This is the title that will be associated with the WordPress installation, and you can always change it later from inside WordPress, so don't worry if it's not perfect right now. Next, enter a strong password for the WordPress admin account. A good best practice here is to use a secure, unique password and store it in a password manager so you don't lose access later. Since this login controls your website, it's worth taking a moment to make sure the password is strong and easy for you to store safely. After that, click on Advanced. In this section, make sure the subdomain you selected earlier is also populated in the installation path field. This is important because it tells Hostinger exactly where WordPress should be installed. If the correct subdomain is not already there, manually select it before moving forward. Once that looks correct, click Next. You're now on the final part of the setup. For the application version, it's usually best to go with Hostinger's recommended option. In this example, the recommended version shown is 7.0. Sticking with the recommended application version is generally the safest choice because it's the one intended to work smoothly with the installation process. Next, choose the language for your site. In this example, English is selected. Pick whichever language you want your WordPress dashboard and default site set up to use. Then look for the PHP version drop down under Requirements. Leave this set to the version marked as your current one. In the example shown, that current version is PHP 8.3. WordPress works well on the current version, and there's usually no advantage to switching to a newer version during installation. In fact, choosing a newer version too early can sometimes create compatibility problems with certain themes or plugins, so it's better to leave it on the current setting. Just below that, you'll see Application Updates. Leave this set to update only to minor version, which is the recommended option. This helps keep WordPress updated with important security and maintenance patches without automatically jumping to major releases that could potentially affect compatibility. Once everything looks good, click Install. The installation may take a few minutes to finish, so give it a little time. Also, after setup completes, the subdomain itself might take a short while to fully update and become accessible everywhere. So don't worry if it isn't instant. If everything was done correctly, you'll then be taken to a working WordPress dashboard for that new subdomain, and your separate site will be ready to start building. And that's everything. You're all set. If this tutorial helped you out, go ahead and hit the like button, since it genuinely helps the channel and tells me these guides are worth making. If you got stuck anywhere along the way, or there's a specific tutorial you'd like to see next, drop it in the comments below and I'll do my best to help out. And if you want to keep up with future step-by-step guides like this one, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.